A top story, a young mother killed in the national capital amid the rain mess. And what's worse, there seems to be a cover-up bit. 34-year-old Sakshi Ahuja, who was on her way to a family holiday, was killed after being electrocuted near the gates of the New Delhi railway station amid the rains on Sunday. Sakshi had just reached the station with both her children and was planning to take a train to Chandigarh for a trip. Her parents and sister were also there with them, but that is when the situation took a tragic turn. Sakshi took support of an electric pole in order to avoid heavy waterlogging near the gate, but was killed in a massive jolt. The Delhi police have filed an FIR under bailable sections in the case. In a direct appeal to the railway minister, Sakshi's husband pointed out there were multiple safety lapses near the railway station. Sources suggest rail minister has called the incident unfortunate.
If you can take this case forward to the right person, right authority, maybe to, I know that Railway Minister, Mr. Vaishno is IIT and he knows basic things about amenities and the safety features. He's working on so many projects all over India. I'm really impressed by the government, but things like this really put your back forward and you really start feeling demotivated about your country. So I really hope that Railway Ministry take note of this and they should ensure proper justice should be done, because not single person is responsible for this. In Railway Ministry, if you have to get the work done, you have to involve so many different divisions. There's so many people involved in getting the work order done. So who all were responsible, whether at the lower level or middle level or higher level. So all those who are responsible should be made liable. They should be punished as per the law. We have a firm belief in law. But yes, justice should be done on time. It should not be delayed.
मैंने क्या, मेरे को तो कुछ पता ही नहीं। मैं इनको देखूंगी, मैं क्या करूंगी दूसरे कामों को। केस वेस के कच्चा करो में मेरे को कुछ नहीं पता। क्या करूं? मैं तो घर में, मैं वहाँ नहीं थी, मेरे को बच्चे नहीं बताया सब फोन पे। मम्मा आप आ जाओ, मेरे को बोलता है सुबह सुबह मेरी मम्मी को कुछ हो गया है। मैं भागी गई हॉस्पिटल में। कोई केयर नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं। कोई
बोला एम्बुलेंस भी टाइम पे
नहीं आई, एम्बुलेंस भी नहीं आई। वो गाड़ी करके गए, वहाँ देखा तो ऐसे पड़ी हुई बर्फ की बाहर।
ऐसा किसी के साथ ना हो, हम यही चाहते हैं। जो हमारे साथ हो गया किसी और के साथ ना।
इन लॉ, आप एक बार साक्षी की तस्वीर हमें दिखा सकते हैं कैमरे पर?
श्योर,
ऐसे कैमरे पर दिखा सकते हैं। मैम, आगे किस तरह से आप लोग इंसाफ, आपने कहा इंसाफ चाहिए आपको, जस्टिस मिलनी चाहिए साक्षी को, किस तरह से आप जस्टिस दिलाना चाहते हैं उससे?
एटलीस्ट ये जो नेग्लिजेंस रेलवेज पे किया गया है उसको कवर अप करिए। जो भी ड्रॉबैक्स है, जो भी नेकेड वायर्स अभी हैं वहाँ पे, उसके अगेंस्ट एक्शन, आई मीन किसी की ड्यूटी वहाँ पे लगानी चाहिए, सो डेट आगे किसी और के साथ ये हादसा ना हो जो हमारी साक्षी के साथ हुआ है।
बच्चा हमारे घर से ठीक ठाक गया है। बेटी हमारी अपनी मम्मी पापा के साथ चंडीगढ़ में घूमने के लिए जा रहे हैं। वंदे भारत ट्रेन में उसने जाना था, तो जैसे उन्होंने अपना बैग लेके नीचे गए तो पानी पड़ा था, बीच में तार थे, क्या था, एकदम करंट लगा। उनकी सिस्टर साथ थी, मदर, पापा, उसके भाई, बच्चे दोनों उनके साथ थे और ये अपने मायके वालों के साथ जा रहे थे। तो हमें क्या पता था, ये मेरी भाभी है, मैं तो उसकी बुआ सास हूँ, मैं उसकी बुआ से इतनी अच्छी लड़की वो थी ना, शायद ढूंढने से संसार में नहीं मिलेगी ऐसी लड़की। तो मेरे को तो, हमारे को तो ये पहले ये इस पोते ने हमारे ने फ़ोन किया, माँ आप आ जाओ। माँ बोलता है दादी को कि मम्मी को कुछ हो गया है, तो उसमें कौन जिम्मेवार, आप ये बताओ। जब उसका घर का कोई मेंबर साथ नहीं, मम्मी पापा भाई बहन जा रहे हैं, बच्चे साथ हैं, इस छोटे से बच्चे ने फ़ोन पे यही कहा मम्मी को पता नहीं क्या हो गया। जिम्मेवार कौन हुआ, पहले आप ही बता दो, आप हमारे से क्या पूछोगे।
Absolutely. Well, the family wants justice for Sakshi and they see that whoever is held responsible, an action should be taken against that person. Even if I talk about Sakshi, she was a 35-year-old mother with 2 kids, and you can see from the picture that how happy their family was. It was yesterday when she was going to Chandigarh to show her kids the rock garden and the rose garden in the Chandigarh, as there is a vacation right now going on for the kids. Now this tragic incident has shocked everyone, all the family members, and they demand that strict action should be taken and justice should be given to Sakshi. And also she was accompanied with her 6-year-old daughter Inaya, who was just walking behind her. And she also tried to catch her, but it was a stranger who saved the life of that little girl. And who would be the responsible if anything would happen to her as well, and who is responsible when Sakshi has lost her life, their family has lost her daughter, and her kids has lost mothers.
All right, to take this conversation further, have Advocate Chirag Nayak, MZM Legal LLP, joining me on the show. Advocate Chirag, thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us here on Mirror. Now, of course, it's an unfortunate and tragic incident, but let me begin by asking you, what should the victim's family do in order to get justice in such a situation?
Nivedna, firstly, thank you for having me and my condolences to the family. This is a very unfortunate incident. But the railways unfortunately have a system where there are a lot of deaths on a daily basis, monthly basis, where people lose their lives. And there is already established procedure of approaching the Railway Claims Tribunal under the Railways Act for compensation for the death caused. However, and this compensation is payable whether or not the railway is responsible for any negligence or no. As far as no compensation can compensate for the loss of life of a mother, the kids, a life in itself cannot be compensated for. But I think there is an increased need. We now know that the police has registered a case for deaths due to negligence. They have registered an FIR. I think over an addition to what is happening on the civil side, there has to be an investigation for criminal liability for negligence, which is very essential in these cases, because you can't have one of the oldest establishments in the country with the top-notch record and all the resources at its disposal and experience in running such an infrastructure. You should not be having any such incident in a precinct of a railway station. This is completely unacceptable.
Right, Chirag, as you speak about that, of course, like you did point out, legally an FIR has also been lodged. But on the other hand, what options does one have in such a situation legally, if you could break that down for us?
So the first thing to do is within the first year of the untoward incident, because this has taken place within the precincts of a railway station, you have to apply to a tribunal called the Railway Claims Tribunal. Once you apply to the Railway Claims Tribunal and the relevant records are produced before it, the Railway Claims Tribunal will give you a compensation up to rupees 8 lakhs, which is payable. In the middle, if the government feels, if the administration feels that there has to be an ex gratia payment which has to be made, that is also made to the concerned persons and the kins of the deceased person. And the application is processed and you get a compensation. So that is the first step you can take in such a case where the railway administration is liable to pay a compensation. That is point number one. Number two, if you want to see if the kin of the deceased believe that their negligence has taken place in, the deaths being caused, then they have the option to pursue this by way of criminal proceedings and following up with the police as to where the investigation leads. Because you can't have a situation where
Right.
an high mast is still giving out electric current to people.
Right, Chirag, on that note, I want to thank you for taking the time out and joining us on the show and, of course, drawing things into perspective for our viewers. But for the moment, we leave it at that. But as we continue to track this unfortunate incident, my colleague Pragya Kaushika spoke to General Manager Northern Railways, who admitted that the buck stops with railways and that the centre is now taking stock of all railway assets. Listen in. to DCP PRO Suman Nalwa regarding the tragic electrocution case. The DCP said that they have written a letter to the Central Electricity Board and other related departments for a thorough investigation on safety lapses.
नई दिल्ली रेलवे स्टेशन पर साक्षी आहूजा नाम की एक महिला की करंट लगने से मौत हो गई। इस मामले में दिल्ली पुलिस ने मुकदमा दर्ज किया है। आगे की जांच जारी है। इस पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ डीसीपी पीआरओ सुमन नलवा जी हैं। मैम, क्या शुरुआती जांच में सामने आया है, किसकी लापरवाही के कारण ये पूरा हादसा सामने आया है?
देखिए, बहुत ही अनफॉर्चुनेट इंसिडेंट था और कल रिपोर्ट हुआ था। उसके बाद हमने एफआईआर कर दी है और एफआईआर में अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन प्रोग्रेस में है। तो जहां पर ये इंसिडेंट हुआ था, इसको हमारी क्राइम टीम ने और एफएसएल ने एग्जामिन किया है और उसके बाद क्योंकि एक स्पेशलाइज्ड एक वो हो गया कि कैसे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का फेलियर ये इस टाइप से हुआ है, तो एक ये है सेंट्रल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी अथॉरिटी, इनको लिखा गया है कि ये भी इसको एग्जामिन करें। स्पेशलाइज्ड एजेंसी हैं कि ये किस तरह से इसमें करंट आया है, कहाँ इंसुलेशन का फेलियर हुआ है और कैसे ये घटना हुई है। इसके अलावा हमने जो डिविजनल रेलवे मैनेजर हैं उनको भी कहा है कि एक चिट्ठी लिखी है कि वो हमें बताएंगे कि किस एजेंसी की या किस पर्सन की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी टू इंश्योर कि ये सेफ हो और कैसे ये हादसा हुआ है, किसकी नेग्लिजेंस पाई जाएगी, तो फर्दर कार्यवाही उसके बाद होगी।
मैम, जो पीड़ित परिवार है उन्होंने कोई शिकायत दी है, किसी के नाम पे उन्होंने पर्टिकुलर शिकायत दी हो?
जी, किसी के नाम पर नहीं है, लेकिन उन्हीं की शिकायत के ऊपर ही एफआईआर हुई है जिसमें 304A सेक्शन लगाया गया है इन एडिशन टू 387। तो उसमें अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगी और जो भी जिसकी भी नेग्लिजेंस पाई जाएगी उसके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्यवाही होगी।
Sir, a very sad incident, but there are also allegations that there is no apathy towards civic amenities at all. What is the case? What did you find out in your inquiry, and who do you hold accountable for this?
See, it was a very, very sad case which happened yesterday in which a young lady lost her life. Immediately after the accident, the government railway police GRP had cordoned off the area because FIR was also lodged, criminal proceedings has also been initiated. But yes, from the prima facie report and what we can see from a distance, there was some cable fault and there was a leakage of current from the cable which came to the pole, and unfortunately when the lady got the pole, she got electrocuted. So we are taking steps. In fact, we have also ordered a very high level inquiry. That inquiry, after the police cordoning is over, they'll go to the site, see, pinpoint exactly what has happened, and I have ordered them that within 7 days they will give us the report pinpointing where the fault had happened, who was responsible for it, and will give a strictest punishment to the person or the group of persons who are responsible for that incident, and we'll also make sure that such kind of incidences don't happen again. In fact, immediately at other locations, at other stations, we have launched a drive because rainy season is there where insulation and leakage problem takes place.
The manner in which Section 304, which is a bailable offence, which is of death due to negligence, has been added in this particular FIR, clearly suggests that the Delhi police was also not on the right foot by putting these sections in the FIR. Ideally, there should be Section 304, which need to be added in the FIR, which is of culpable homicide amounting to murder, because we have lost one life. That is because of the negligence which has come up from the part of government official. And you'll be amazed to know that, and shocked to know that the Delhi police is still clueless that which department should be held accountable for this kind of glaring lapses. The railway officials have met the family members, and the family members confronted them that this kind of thing should not have happened. They met the family member yesterday. But the manner in which BSES and DISCOM and all the officials have been trying to move away from taking the responsibility is a very serious thing, for which the criminal liability need to be booked, because this is not a matter where someone is hurt grievously. We have lost one life, that too of a passenger who was along with two minor who were traveling along with her. So that clearly shows that the tragedy could have been much bigger.
My colleague Akanksha spoke to electricity body official Prashant Dua regarding the tragic electrocution incident. The BSES official has shirked responsibility over the tragic incident, saying they do not supply power at New Delhi railway station and hence they are not at fault.
what we can do is that we can share with you a background.
Okay.
Because of course not to be quoted there. Okay. Because this it has got, but again it will be on the record, not on record.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
This incident you're talking about what happened yesterday. Correct.
Yes.
At the railway station.
Yes.
Okay, so those points will be extremely clear to you.
Okay.
But those points, see that area, that parking lot A is not maintained by BSES.
Okay.
It's not maintained by us. B, even the HIMARS light there, the HIMARS pole there, is not maintained by us.
So you're saying it is not maintained by, because the confusion was whether it is of railway or BSES. You're saying it does not belong to you.